Fellow tennis nerds, I hope all is well. How do you make a polyester string? I went to the Isospeed factory in Eisenstadt outside Vienna earlier in January to find out. I met with Martin, who has worked there for 20 years, has lots of experience in terms of strings. He showed me the process, and I also hit some balls with him and Thomas Buchmeier, who was a top 200 player in the 90s, up to 2000s, I think. So had a great day there with Isospeed, and they do make strings in this factory for several other large brands. I'm not going to mention them here. For top profile brands, for smaller brands, it's a very, very busy string factory. They don't make natural gut here, but they do multi-filament strings and polyester strings. And during this visit, I got to try a completely new concoction, a new pink string, and we actually hit with this string in the end of the video. So it was quite fascinating to see a string from start to finish and to play with something completely unreleased. And we're not even sure it's going to hit the market. And we did the testing, the resilience, and how it worked, and it was really cool to see the whole from start to finish, the whole process. I will give you like a brief review of each string that they have produced, and they do have some great ones, so check them out. The multi-filament, the Control Classic or the Isospeed Control are both excellent strings. I did try it briefly as well in the Pro Staff 97 and in a Vulkel racket. Testing interesting stuff today. The Vulkel Vostra V9 305, but I strung it with multi-filament Isospeed Control. Actually quite nice to play with. Okay, I'm gonna hit it with my father, but still really enjoy the sensation and sound. Sometimes like you have to go back to multi or gut and just feel that vibe. It's a good vibe. I mean, it might not work in a match, to be honest, but you know. And I did really enjoy this multi. It works well in hybrids, it works well in a full bed if that's your cup of tea. It's not my cup of tea, which is why I tried it briefly. But it really held tension well. It didn't move around like crazy like some multi-filament strings. And it played with good controls. I must say it deserves its name. And it should be a multi you should check out if you're into multis, whether you put them in a hybrid or whether you like it in a full bed for max comfort. As you know, multi-filaments are for comfort and power. So I really enjoyed the Isospeed Control and Isospeed Control Classic. That's the first one. Thomas Muster used to play with this one, strung at a whopping 43 kilos. So that's an interesting little tidbit. But they have also other polyester strings that are obviously a little bit more popular these days. Blackfire regular, which is the round one, or Blackfire S, which is the six-sided hexagonal one, and more spinny shaped string. They made with like liquid wax coating, so they have a long process here, like with the heating and everything, that really showed me many steps of making a string. I won't go through each step in this video, but it's not like a very straightforward process. You have to really be a little bit of a mad scientist and experiment, because you don't know how the color will come out. You don't know what happens if you mix two different plastics into one string or four different ones. So you have like a complete freedom to experiment, but then you need to really test, like on a court, and also a resilience test. How fast does it drop tension? How does it hold up? If you hit it, will it break? Yeah, so very interesting to see like how much goes into one string. You just think it's a piece of plastic, but there's actually some strong engineering and tinkering and research and development and testing behind a string. And I found that fascinating, and really enjoyed my little tour there. And thanks to Martin for showing me around and showing me how a string is made. All the different parameters you can play with makes it fascinating, and you can really play around with different parameters. And if you're testing polyester strings like I do every week, it's pretty good to know how it's done. But Blackfire S is one of my favorites. It's a firmer string, it's all about control. You really get like a nice bite, nice spin. I do like S and the round. If I would do it in a hybrid, I would probably use the round one, but otherwise in a full bed I like the S for a bit more bite. But I did enjoy one hybrid with the regular Blackfire with this one, V18, and I heard that there's an ATP Pro that uses this one in a hybrid. V18, so it's a softer, thinner polyester string that you can hybrid with this one. The round one preferably for me. So this is 19 gauge, 1.12, so very, very thin, but really creates like a nice, comfortable feel, and really these two paired together in the arrow was a home run for me. I really like that. Hybrids, as you know, is a way to kind of combine two strings to make a great match, hopefully. Requires some experimentation, but hopefully you get there in the end. They have a famous string. This is a good softer poly. It's called Cream, and for a reason, it's kind of creamy on impact, creamy when you string it. So quite like a comfortable, gentle string, and gentle on your arm. Still has some bite, some pocketing, good features, but it is more for like comfort oriented if you want to play a poly, but you don't want to worry too much about arm pain. Here they use technologies like double heating, spring load. It's pre-stretched, so it won't give so much after stringing, and liquid wax. An all-around string, but more on the softer side, as you can hear from the name Cream. They also have, like many brands now, eco string made from 100% PET bottles. This one, the second service, so it's all about eco, and I would say this plays quite similar to other eco strings I tried, like the new Hawk PET Tour. Holds tension pretty well for eco string. I noticed that some eco strings actually drop tension really fast, but this one held up pretty well. Not the spinniest string ever, but decent playability, and I like the colorway because it works in every racket. So that was a good one. But Blackfire, I would say, either paired with the V18 or just on its own, is my favorite. They also have Greyfire, I think, which is a round, control-oriented poly, but not as stiff as Blackfire. Depending on where you are, it might be easy or difficult to get a hold of Isospeed strings. In Europe, easier because they are based in Europe. In US, maybe you have more of a limited selection on like Tennis Warehouse. Can really recommend Isospeed strings. I gave you some ideas, but I almost forgot one of them that fell earlier, so let's get into that one. The oval string, the Isospeed Rexxxer, that's a good one. I actually like this in quite a few rackets. The T-Fight 300, the Aero 98, and I tried it in some other racket as well. This is an oval string, so I don't know if there's any other oval strings on the market. Quite spinny, nice sensation and impact. Pretty like balanced string, I would say. The only thing I don't really like here is the color. It looks a little bit too green for me. It should maybe be more Hyper G-ish, a little bit fresher, but yeah, a little bit dullish green. But it's made with copoly and elastomer, and it has like a nice feel on impact and does give a pretty good ball bite on the ball. So this is an interesting string, and not sure where the name came from, but it's a good string, and I did like this one a lot. So I almost forgot that one because it fell from the table. But what we did during this one, we tried a pink string that is not out on market and might never be. We will see. But it was cool to see like something from the demo floor, and the team at Isospeed stringing it up in my Pure Drive 100, which is what I brought on this long trip. I had a few rackets, but that was what I wanted to try it in. And we hit it just like a stone's throw away on a carpet court. Thomas, Martin, and myself. And this played really nicely. I strung it at 24 kilos. I didn't string it, but they strung it at 24 kilos, 53 pounds. And it had good comfort, nice elasticity, a softer polyester, and something that we will see if it ever sees the light of day. But it did play well. Like, it did play with some control still, and I could control it on a carpet court with a Pure Drive. So, and that is a good thing. So overall, I must say, like, the Isospeed strings, especially after this tour, really have convinced me that they make some excellent products. I think this is was pretty impressive. Really enjoyed seeing the whole tour there and getting an idea of how strings are made. And I also like getting reminded of how much work it is for people to kind of create a product, you know, whether it's a string or a racket or a shoe or whatever. But it's like there's a lot of work and people thinking, research and development behind it. So it deserves respect. Also from playtesters such as myself, to actually give it time. Kudos to them. Check them out on Tennis Warehouse Europe, or where strings are found. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe, have a nice day, and don't forget to play some tennis.